What do watercolor painting and roadkill have in common? Today I'm turning a squirrel into a watercolor mop brush. This is either going to be a brilliant art experiment or the moment my career takes a very strange turn. If you followed my watercolors, you're going to know that I love squirrel mop brushes. I've got tons and tons of squirrel mop brushes that I bought over the years. They're fantastic because they hold tons of water, tons of color, tons of paint. They're great if you're going to do large areas, but the problem is the prices have gone up a lot. And so I've been thinking about this for a long time in my mind, and I think I finally have lost my sanity because I've actually gone through with this. I'm decided to make my own squirrel mop brushes. Now, before you think I'm too crazy, I didn't actually run the squirrel over. I found him on the road. I went to Harris Teeter, go pick up some groceries, and I came back, and 10 minutes later, there was, I call him Frankie J is his name now. He was laying there on the road, and I kept thinking, well, his sacrifice shouldn't have been in vain. So I thought, well, I'm going to take that squirrel and I'm going to make a wonderful squirrel mop brush out of him so that this guy can live, he or she can live forever. And so that is exactly what I did. I took the squirrel on the road using, I had some gloves, plastic bag, and then I had to go home. This is the part I didn't like. I had to take the tail off. I had to debone the tail, which we're not going to get too many details about how to do that. It's pretty easy, but you've got to use some pliers. You've got to cut a little bit to the tail. Again, that's the part I didn't like. I'm an artist, not a doctor. I took the tail off and I had to figure out how to clean it afterwards. I used some Dawn to get rid of the grease and things, and I put it in rubbing alcohol for 48 hours. And then after that was completely clean, and I dried it out. Then I had to cut the hairs off, and then I had to try to make a brush out of this somehow. And so I'm almost done with this brush, and I'm super, super excited about this because in my mind, it's going to be the greatest brush ever. It's going to be Frankie J, who's turned into a piece of art now. I don't know if it's going to be a good brush. I suspect what's going to happen is I'm going to start painting with it and the whole thing is going to fall apart and I'm just going to break down into tears because I've been so excited about this. But, that's the fun thing about art. I'm doing something kind of crazy. I don't think many people would do this. Hopefully not many people would do this. I got prompts. I'm not going to lie about that. But I'm trying to save some money. Here is a close-up of the brush. And this is what I've tied up with. So I took the hairs, and this is all the hair on just the one tail. And then what I did is I put some gum arabic into it to get the brush a little bit harder so I could shape it more how I want it to look like. And then gum arabic, and then let that dry overnight, actually over a couple days. And then what I had to do was I had to take some twine, wrap that around the bottom of this in several different places. Then I took some wood glue, and I put wood glue down here to glue it together, so hopefully everything's going to fall out. Now, it's not perfect by any means. I'm not perfect, but this is the first time I'm trying this. But right now, this looks like it's going to be a decent brush and it might actually work. Then I took a dowel rod. I bought the dowel rod, and I've got that. I used the UV archival varnish, so this is waterproof now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up gluing this onto here. I took a little bit of Duralar, and I almost said Duralax. Duralax is not what you want to take for this, but Duralar, you take a little bit of Duralar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around here, and I'm going to put some wires around this to hold this onto here. And then we're going to test to see if this actually is a functioning brush or an absolute disaster. And all right, I'm back in the studio after making my roadkill brush, and I want to see how this holds paint and water. So I'm just mixing up a bunch of water and color on the palette right now. I'm not even trying to do a painting per se, but I just want to see what happens when I put this color down on a piece of paper, if it works pretty well. If this brush holds a lot of water, which it looks like it's doing, I'm actually pretty happy with this. So the roadkill brush, as of right now, is doing a pretty good job. So after just a quick test, I'm actually pretty happy with what's left of Frankie J. It doesn't hold the greatest tip in the world. I don't really know how to put these guys together very, very well. Tried my best. I've watched videos online and things, but this holds a ton of water, which is super nice. And I still have a bunch of hair, so I can make another brush. I'm going to make another smaller one here. I'm going to do it that bag. Put it over here someplace. Yeah, I've got a bunch of hair here. Just the hair does seem to fall out quite a bit, though, and hopefully that kind of dissipates after time because I don't know if I glued everything together properly. We'll see how this works out. But, as of right now, I am very happy with my roadkill brush. Frankie J's life was not in vain. This brush is going to live on and create, hopefully, some really, really good art from it. So what more can a squirrel ask, right? Against all odds, the squirrel mop brush actually worked. The squirrel probably didn't wake up expecting to become a brush, but here we are. Whether this was artistic ingenuity, questionable life choices, or a little of both, I'll let you decide. One thing's for sure, this is definitely my favorite brush in the studio. If you enjoyed this content, please hit subscribe. If you're interested in all the materials used in this painting, check out the YouTube description below. Thank you for watching, and happy painting.